I'm the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, SEGASLAYER64, and welcome back. Well, welcome to the new Let's Play on the channel, Sonic Adventure DX Dreamcast Edition. So if you don't know, this is a mod of Sonic Adventure, which essentially turns the game, or Sonic Adventure DX, which essentially turns the game into the Dreamcast version of the game. And I even have other cool mods on, like the character changes mod. So this is how we're going to be Let's Playing Sonic Adventure, you know, because we only Let's Play Sonic games on this channel. So, you know, I figured I was going to pick something different, but I was like, nah, you know what? Okay, in reality, that's a joke. Then that joke carried on for longer than it was intended to. But in reality, yeah, welcome to today's video. SEGASLAYER64 complains, everyone. So today I have a very cool topic to complain about for you all. But first, while we travel to the destination of stages I'm going to play today, and the reason I'm playing Sonic Adventure today instead of something else, I was originally going to play Doom for the Dreamcast, but I kind of had an urge to play some Sonic Adventure stages, you know. Like I said, sometimes I'll play this game and just run stages and then, you know, play a couple stages and then get off or whatever. It's just what I do sometimes, but I was like, well, you know, I got an urge to play some of the stages, and I have to record anyway, and SEGASLAYER64 complains. It all coincides, so that's why I chose this game to play today. That's besides the point. First off, before we get into what today's topic is about, which I no doubt know you're all intrigued about, today I want to make an announcement really quickly. So regarding the next Let's Play on the channel, everyone, I have officially chosen the next game. I know exactly what it's going to be, and I'm not going to spoil it here. I'm not going to spoil the Let's Play here, because I guarantee you it's something that's going to throw you all for a loop. Go ahead and try to guess it if you want to in the comments. It's up to you. You don't have to, but you can. I'm almost 99% sure no one's gonna get it, but I will also say this. It is not a Sonic game. I can promise you that right now. And yeah, it's probably, I don't know if it's gonna be a long one. It might carry us through the rest of the year. It might not. I don't know how long this Let's Play is gonna be. It can be a short one, but yeah, it's something that I guarantee you it will throw you for a loop. I'm not gonna give you any hints, because I can't give you like the year it was released or anything, or it will come out. Okay, well, I'll give you one hint. It is something that is not on an actual Sega console. It is a Sega game, obviously, but it is not a Sega console, and it was released in a more modern era. Now, you can be the judge of what you would consider a modern era, but yeah, I'll tell you that it's not on a Sega console. Other than that, I'm gonna cheat, man. I'm gonna cheat. I'm sorry. I'm cheating, man. I just want to get through this really quickly. But yeah, I will tell you that it is not on a Sega console, and you don't have to worry about it being on a Sega console because it's not. What I also will tell you, what was I gonna tell you? I'll also tell you that it is, no, I won't, I can't, I don't know. Let me see. No, I don't think there's anything else I want to tell you because I don't want to give it away, but I will say it is gonna be something that is very fun, I promise, and you guys are really gonna enjoy it. Like I said, I'll leave it there though because I really don't wish to spoil it for you guys, because it's something I'm very excited to do, something I've always wanted to try and I've never done before. So it's gonna be really cool to show you guys that. Other than that, what else do I really have to say? Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. Yeah, that video will go ahead and premiere on Monday. I did not mean to do that. Well, we're dead. Yeah, that video will go ahead and premiere on Monday. So, if you're wondering, you know, when it's going to premiere, it'll be Monday. So, you know, there's your date for when the video is going to premiere. Yeah, other than that, that's the announcement. But we're going to get in directly to what I was going to talk about today. And what I was going to talk about was on the problem with modern day online gaming. Okay, so I also had another SEGASLAYER64 complaints video ready, but, well, not ready, but like an idea that I wanted to do, and I will do that at some point, but I'm gonna wait a little bit because I was originally gonna include them in one video, but then I decided, nah, they're kind of really two different topics, and it wouldn't do one justification to talk about it in a video where it would be sharing the spotlight. So I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. And I'm holding true to that. I am going to wait to actually talk about the one I'm actually going to talk about. But it is something very interesting, I will assure you of that. And we got very lucky there. It's another really interesting one. And because you're not supposed to climb on this wall, it kind of glitches. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the problems with online gaming. Now, I do want to say this right now. these problems that I'm going to be listing are nothing new. In fact, most people have known about these problems in online gaming forever now, and you know, I just only feel the need to complain about them now because, you know, they've been upsetting me. So recently, I've been playing a game. It's pretty popular. You probably know what it is. I mean, I'm gonna guess you know what it is. It's a pretty popular title nowadays, and it is a battle royale. And that game I've been playing is Apex Legends. I've been playing it, and it's actually been a really fun experience. But playing the game, it's actually really fun. You should give it a try if you haven't, because I've always been a huge like first-person shooter fan, and it's a very fun first-person shooter game. And you should definitely try it if you haven't. Plus, it's free, so you know. I'm just gonna assume everyone knows what freaking Apex Legends is. It's nothing new at all, and I did not mean to do this. Oh no. Yeah, but I'm gonna assume everyone knows what Apex Legends is. I mean, I'm sure you've probably heard of it. But the point is, I've been playing it recently, and I've been running into some problems. So, and it made me really sit back and think and analyze this whole idea that gaming from here on out is only going to be playable online. And it's really kind of somewhere in this room. It's really kind of upset me a little bit because, like, okay, if online gaming is going to become the standard at some point, and apparently games will stop being and apparently, as they say, games will stop being multiplayer, will stop being single player. As you know, developers are going down that road of just kind of saying screw single player games and multiplayer is the future, and I have some problems with that because multiplayer gaming itself is kind of stupid and kind of dumb. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, no, it's not dumb in the sense that it shouldn't exist. It's something that should exist, but to rely exclusively on multiplayer gaming is just something that's always been stupid to me. Just the problems that you face trying to play online, and I'm not just going to talk about Apex here, I'm also going to talk about Dead by Daylight and a couple other things that you guys know I actually play on a daily basis. And the main problem that I've been facing on Apex, well, there's two main problems, and this is the main problem that I hate about online gaming. The people you play with, right, in online gaming are unfiltered, okay? So when you play online gaming, you don't know who you're connecting online with unless you're playing with your friend, you know what I'm saying? You're always connecting on a random server to random people, and it's a fun experience. It can be a fun experience, you know what I'm saying? And hey, if you don't have any I'm not gonna say if you don't have any friends, but if you don't have anybody to actually play with, really, then it can make for a pretty fun experience, and it makes a game accessible to everyone, right? But the problem is, you get these random people, right? And half of them, and this is really common on this first one is really common on Apex, and the second one is really common on like more Dead by Daylight and things like that. But one of the most common things that I get on both of those games, right, are one, trolls. Now, oh my god, me just being a normal person, right, I want to load into a normal Apex Legends match, right? I want to load in, get a couple kills, win, and have fun. Well, how about trying to do that, right? When you load into a battle royale, or you load into an arenas match, an arena is essentially just like a game mode in which you just, you know, you're fighting the competition in a one-on-one type thing, but it's actually 3-on-3. It's actually really fun. But you load into the match, and guess what happens to you? You get these trolls, right? You can get these trolls, and what they'll do is they'll go team up with the other team, right? And they obviously, because they're your teammates, they won't kill you, but you're just trying to play the game normally, so you go and obviously go and try to attack the other team. Now, your teammates won't help you, period, because they're playing around with the other team, joking and playing around, and it ruins an entire match. And granted, sometimes Apex Legends can be one of those games that takes a while for you to load into. So if I'm trying to sit here and play a match on Apex Legends, and I finally get in after waiting, I don't know, maybe 3-4 minutes, and you get in, then you wait for the game to load, and you finally get in, and you want to enjoy the game, and just want to relax and play one of your favorite games, because it's been one of my favorites recently. It's been really fun, and you just want to play Apex Legends. And the first thing that happens is they will freaking just play around and pretty much screw up the entire match for you, and you really don't have any choice as to, you know, what they do, because this is what they'll do almost every single time. It ruins the experience, and it overall just makes the game not fun. But when they do this, essentially you're on your own, and your goal is to still try and go kill the team, but go kill the entire team by yourself. You don't have a choice but to do it, because if you don't, you're gonna get in trouble, because you can get reported for this, by the way, and you can get banned for this, for doing this, and I'll have more on that later on. But when this happens, it ruins the entire match, because you have three, it's a virtually 4-to-1, even though your teammates can't hurt you, because they're not shooting at the other team and you are. It means that they won't help you if the other team starts shooting back at you. So meaning, if you're not that good, or even if you are that good, you're always going to be in a 3-to-1 scenario. And you might be saying, well, SEGASLAYER, this whole people trolling like this probably doesn't happen all that often, does it? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Like, I always get 1 or 2 matches with this type of troll every single day on Apex and on Dead by Daylight as well. Dead by Daylight is another one, because you'll have people who are working with the killer or grinding with the killer, and it ruins the entire match when you're just trying to get in and play the game the way it was intended. And half the time, right? And half the time, you might be saying, well, SEGASLAYER, just go ahead and report these people. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal. Report the people. Well, guess what? If you report the people, you get in trouble. I mean, no, half the time, they don't get in trouble. Like, if you report them half the time, it doesn't matter. The developers won't care, and you just have to sit there and take it. And you might be saying it's a minor inconvenience, but when it happens 3 to 4, at least, like, it happens to me at least 2 games a day, and it is a pretty big inconvenience, like I said, because it takes a second to load into these matches. So when you get in and you finally sit there, and sometimes you can be sitting for longer than 5 to 10 minutes trying to get into a match, and you finally get in, and they do that to you. It ruins the entire experience, and it really just makes you not want to play the game. And for people who actually want you to still sit here and play their game, it's pretty stupid that they're not going out and enforcing these rules even more. And some of you might also be saying, well, SEGASLAYER, you do know that you can just leave the match if something like this happens, right? And that would be the simplest solution, right? Instead of because it would be just a simple solution for me to go and leave the match instead of waiting for these trolls to stop playing around, which they will never do. You'll always just get killed because they'll all gang up on you 3-to-1, and your teammates will be playing around and in cooperation with them, not shooting them, and you won't get in trouble, and they won't get in trouble for that. But and then half the time, right? And what makes it even worse, your team, whenever your team goes and plays with these guys, they will always sacrifice themselves, meaning they will let them kill them for free. It happened every single time. I end up losing, and then your kill death ratio and your rank ends up going down because you lost the game that wasn't even your fault. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys be easily like really bad, and you can easily destroy them. But when you have 3-on-1, it's always going to be an unfair fight. You see what I'm saying? And so when this happens every couple of games, it really does start to become annoying. Like I said, somebody's out there probably saying, well, you know, SEGASLAYER, that you can just leave, right? And you would think that, right? Because if that was the case, I would gladly just leave. It wouldn't bother me as much if I could just leave. But no, Apex Legends and Dead by Daylight is one of those games. They're the type of games, right, where if you leave during a match, because this is something else that happens, and I'll get into it too, and it is fair, if you leave during the match, you get a penalty for how long you can play, how long you have to wait until you can play a match. And the more you leave these matches, the higher the penalty gets, right? So for your first offense, for your first time leaving a match on Apex Legends, you have to wait 10 minutes. For your first time leaving a match on Dead by Daylight, you actually have to wait 15 minutes, okay? So that means, and now I'm hoping you're starting to see why this can be an inconvenience and just ruin everything. Because if you want to just enjoy your game and relax and enjoy your game, the thing that happens is these people show up, they ruin the game, and you have to either sit there and let your rank go down for a loss that you probably wouldn't even have took if your teammates would have cooperated, or you have to leave the match and wait 15 to 10 minutes to get back into a game, not counting the 3 minutes it's probably going to take for the game to load in the first place. Are you starting to see it now? And this is one of the biggest problems I have with online gaming. They always say, oh, online gaming is going to be the future. Eventually there won't be any more single player games. Hey man, I'm an old fashioned gamer, okay? So I used to play Call of Duty and Halo, right? And let me tell you something. I loved it how in Call of Duty there was bots, because it meant that if I didn't feel like going online and I just felt like having a pretty fun match, I could play with the bots. Granted, the bots were stupid. Granted, they were dumb half the time, but they were still, if you put the difficulty on hard, you could get a pretty good challenge. It would be like pretty much fighting, I don't know, if you turned the difficulty on hard or expert or the highest difficulty, it would be like you were actually going up against, I'd say, normal level players, or at least okay players at the game, and it was actually pretty fun. And it would take out if you didn't feel like dealing with the inconveniences of playing online, because online gaming is fun. But when you have these type of trolls continuously ruin the game for you, it makes you not even want to play the game. It just does. It's not fun, man. It really is. It ruins my entire experience trying to play Apex Legends, and it almost makes me want to quit the game occasionally. Same thing for Dead by Daylight. And you can't leave. You always lose, and you report to people, and nothing happens to them. At least, and then the thing is, you don't get notified if anything happens to them, right? But you can the way I found that you can check is if you just remember their profile name and you go search their profile on Origin, right? And you can see if they're still playing Apex Legends or not, or Steam. I use Steam, so I use the Steam version of Apex. So you can just go search their Steam name and see if they still play Apex. And guess what? Half the time they will still be playing Apex or Dead by Daylight. Nothing will happen, and it's just annoying, and it ruins the entire game. I want to play Apex Legends or Dead by Daylight or enjoy these online games without these type of inconveniences screwing everything over. It is truly annoying. It just wrecks the entire experience. But that's the first level of trolls I'm going to talk about. Now we're going to get into the second level of trolls, and the ones I hate the most. And I'll be fair, everyone does this, okay? Everyone does this. It's just a normal thing that happens. Nothing really to complain about, you know what I'm saying? But when it happens on a daily basis again, and it happens during the entire game, you're pretty much screwed. And that is AFK people in an online game. Now, hold on. Before anyone gets upset about this, let me explain, because I do go AFK occasionally in a video game. It's something you can't control. But some people will load into a game, right? They'll load into a game, and then they'll just sit there and be AFK for the entire game. It's like, why? Listen. Okay, if you gotta go AFK for a second in the game, I understand. It's just something that has to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't control it. But when you load into a match and you sit there AFK for the entire match, and then here's the worst thing, right? Here's the worst thing. In Apex Legends, right, there's champions. So even if you paid for a character, right, if someone picks that character before you in a match that you wanted to play as, which I play as Wraith or Revenant. I play as either of those two. I also like playing as Mirage. But if someone has those characters, right, and they go off and they decide to pick that character and then go AFK for the entire game, even though you wanted that character, and you have to pick a character you didn't really want to play as that match, oh well, because if they're AFK, it doesn't really matter. And it just annoys me. It's like, dude, why even load into a match if you know you're going to be AFK that entire match? It screws the entire game up. And I know I'm probably just sitting here talking about obvious things that happen, but I just wanted to, just talk and give my take on them, because I can't take this. I want to enjoy these games, I really do, but when I have to sit here and deal with things like this, or you'll have these guys, right, or you'll have these guys that will load into a game, play just fine, right, and then you get into a fight or you're about to win and they go AFK. Again, not controllable, I understand, but really, dude, AFK directly in the middle of the game, again, it's not controllable. I do acknowledge that, but this is more so about the people who load into a game, right? And the thing is with Apex is, right? The thing is with Apex, if you load into a game, or if you're in a game, if you go AFK for more than, I think, 2 minutes, the game kicks you out of the game. Now, that would be fine, right? If it wasn't for the fact that you lose a teammate. And if that teammate was going to come back, well, guess what? They ain't coming back now, because guess what? They got kicked out of the game. So when that happens, it ruins the experience. It really does. And it makes, it can cost you. I've had whole matches costed by someone going AFK for a second, and I just lose the entire match because they went AFK for a second. It's annoying, and it truly does ruin the online experience. And it's like things like this that I always felt, okay, this is why I don't want an online only feature. I want options to still play by myself. Because when you have these things that happen and go on in online games daily, which again, like I said, we're all guilty of going AFK, but when you have that happen constantly, it really can demoralize you from wanting to play this game any longer. Like I said, I really enjoy Apex Legends. I really enjoy the game. I'm dead. I really enjoy that game. It's a fun game. I might even play it on stream eventually. Same for Dead by Daylight. Those are two games I enjoy and love to play on a daily basis. But when things like this happen on that daily basis, it really kind of makes me not even want to enjoy the game or play it anymore. But and again, you can also report someone for going AFK, which I do think is a little bit unfair. I do think it's a little bit unfair, to be honest with you, because AFK happens, but you can do it. And even then, it doesn't matter, because guess what? Nothing will happen to these players. And sometimes players will intentionally let you die and not revive you because you had... yeah, this is another issue. When you load into a game like Dead by Daylight or Apex Legends, right, you can have what I like to call sabotage teammates, essentially, is what I call it. And it's essentially just toxic people who play the game, right? They hop on the game, they're ready to play, and for some reason or another, either in Apex you picked up a weapon they liked, or you were the champion that they wanted to be. Guess what they'll do? If you get knocked or you get killed or something, they will even if they win, they'll refuse to revive you, and they'll let you die, either to take what weapon you had or just because you chose their champion. And you'll have to go into an entire another game because your teammate didn't want to revive you just because they wanted to be a jerk. It's annoying. It is annoying, and things like this again also don't really get addressed by the teams of these game developers. I know this one happens a lot in Dead by Daylight. If you sometimes people will just not revive you for no reason, either because they're scared or something like that, which, okay, I understand, but sometimes they'll literally, just because they want to team up with the killer or something like that, or I notice even killers, and sometimes killers and players will work together, which, you know, that is what it is. Another thing is hackers. Now, hackers are something that I don't really have to deal with. You don't see too many hackers on games like Apex or Dead by Daylight especially. I've run into one on I've run into a few on Dead by Daylight, but never enough to actually make me angry or anything. But they are the common annoyance. Of course, they'll happen in every video game, and they probably can't be prevented. And I'm not really going to go over that here because, you know, like I said, they probably can't be prevented. I was just wanting to talk about it while I was here. But it's just like, these common annoyances kind of ruin online gaming for me. And it's why I don't believe that gaming should go in an all-online future. Like, I think single-player games should still be a prominent part of the gaming future. Like, okay, I can play this Sonic Adventure forever by myself and never run into these problems. But there's nothing wrong with the game having an online and offline mode. But for these online-only games, these experiences can really start to suck when you realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm constantly running into these different problems that is screwing the entire game experience over for me, and I don't know what to do. I mean, what are you going to do? You can cry about it. That's probably not going to work. You don't really have an option. You can't opt out of it because you're just going to have to deal with what they say. And it's like, oh, it just gets so annoying and ruins the entire match, man. I'm sorry for the little cut there, but yeah, like I was saying, they'll either just be grinding with the killer or playing with the killer and things like that in the game, and it really just ruins the entire online experience as a whole, and I really just hate when it happens. I just want to enjoy a match, get into a game, and I know there's very little developers can do on this situation, but I think you can at least do a little bit more. Like, start banning, putting out heavier bans for this type of situation, because sometimes you report the killer, or you report the player, or if you're in Apex, you report your teammates and the other team, and pretty much nothing happens to anyone, and it continues to happen because these developers let it happen, and it's just annoying, man. It really is. I think these type of things need heavier bans, you know what I'm saying? With the exception of people going AFK, because it happens, but even if you are going to go AFK, and you know you're going to be AFK, leave the match and at least take the penalty that it takes, because like I said, you get a penalty for leaving the match. So if you're going to leave, and you know you're going to be AFK for a little minute, take the 15-minute penalty, take the 10-minute penalty, and just leave the match. Spare the teammates, man, because you half the time that can end up costing you an entire match. You thinking your teammate is playing the game and they're AFK, and next thing you know, you're over here dying and there's no one to help you because they're AFK or they're playing with the other team, and it's so stupid. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna end this video off here because I feel like I've said what I needed to say. Yeah, if you're new here, if you can subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers and you'd be helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends and become a Super Slayer. I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, SEGASLAYER64, and real quick, I just want to say, remember, the next Let's Play, I don't know when this video is coming up. I'm actually recording this on a Wednesday, so I don't know if this is going to be up on Thursday or Friday. I'm going to decide that as I go. I'm probably going to upload it on Friday, but I might upload it on Thursday. I'm not sure. But even so, regardless of what day I upload this, the beginning of the Let's Play will be on Monday, so just keep that in mind. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you want to guess down in the comments, feel free to guess. Yeah, until next time, have a good one, Slayers.